All right, hello. This is session 3 of Apocalypse World Blue Sunset. We just did a little recap to get ourselves in line because we had to miss last week, and I think we can get right into it. So. Last time we ended with Blues taking control over what basically mounts to the settlement or the important places with the with where the food supply has been grown, which was Rolf Ball's thing, but Rolf Ball isn't anymore, and so Blues took that over, and Hoover. Blues, you were both aware that there's this huge track. Well, I think the way I described it was kind of thinking of the Mass Effect Mako. That's kind of what I had in mind, like really wide, overly large, right? You could stand as a person in one of the wheels, basically. And that was approaching from the west, where also the storm was coming from.
So something about splendors that he can give me insight. That's in the move. So my question is, when would he give me insight on I want to get insight on the do that move and directed at what should I do about the storm people.
Yeah, and I think.
But if you want, we can do beginning of session moves and highlights before that. I'm just putting it out there as something that I'm aiming to do sometime in the session.
Yeah, I think that will make sense. But you got a good point. Let's do highlights because that's the one I always forget. You want to start us off with that, Over?
All right. So highest hex is a tie between Jaybird and Sugar. So how do we settle ties again?
Yeah, you just decide arbitrarily. Or here, no, I'll give mine to one. Like both of you tell me. So I'll give mine to the other one.
So John and Ryan tell me as a highlight.
I'm pulling up your stats so I can see what it is that you're.
I'm gonna clear my highlights.
Cool.
Okay, cool is good because I'm good at cool.
I gave you weird last time. I'll give you cool this time.
Okay, good. Thanks. Oh, you highlighted weird?
Oh, no, I didn't. I was trying to unhighlight the weird so I could then see what was not highlighted.
I was doing the same thing. Yeah, okay. So John just highlighted cool for me.
I think I want to see sharp.
That's good because I'm about to roll that. So yay, I am happy.
Okay. Sugar. Who do you have the highest hex with?
Looks like Jaybird and Hoover are tied at 2.
Then, yeah, I think let's do the same thing. You both get to. I'm pretty open about this.
Highest is hard, so I'll highlight hard. Unless you want me to choose the not the highest.
It's up to you. You go ahead.
Just going by RP stuff, I want to see cool. So
okay, so
cool.
hard. this is
Thank
the last session, so I'm gonna highlight the cool shit, or rather, not the cool shit. Instead, like the stuff you're
The cool shit and the hard shit.
The stuff
the
my
hard
character's
shit.
good at.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Jaybird.
Well, it's a tie between Hoover and Aeon, but Aeon's not here today, so I guess Hoover and the GM. MC,
hot.
whatever it's called here. Yes, I've got to use my hot for once.
Yeah, you should. Jesus.
I think I'll highlight your hard.
Oh no.
Yeah. And how about blues?
Hoover is the highest text.
Oh my god, I'm adding something for everyone. Okay, you had your best at hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna highlight hard because I'm nice.
Aw.
Let's B sharp.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing I haven't rolled yet. I'm like, oh, whenever I don't have sharp highlighted, I will never look at what's coming into a situation. I'll just barge in.
Yeah. Okay. So here's my question. I imagine that Hoover and Blues, you're somehow coordinating on receiving, welcoming these whatever's coming there. It's probably
We still have to do the beginning of session move that Blues has and Barter, right?
That's
that's later. Okay,
that's we'll do that in a bit. I want to see how this situation turns out, or at least see the beginnings of that situation, or what your plans are for it. Yeah,
I was gonna ask Splendor for insight as soon as that scene ended, or like the scene from last session. Like if we can do a flashback to what Splendor wants me to do, that'd be great. So I can use the move insight, which I can read it off.
Yep, please.
Right. When you are able to go to someone for insight, ask them what they think your best course is, and the MC will tell you. If you pursue that course, take +1 to any rolls you make in the pursuit. If you pursue that course but do not accomplish your ends, you mark experience.
This relies on you defining what your ends are.
Well, it relies on Splendor telling me what to do. And if I do what Splendor tells me to do, I get +1, and if I fail, I mark experience.
Yeah. So, like, I think it makes very good sense from the situation where we left off last time, that you were able to get insight from that, and you want insight about what to do about these people arriving here.
Yeah.
And I think what he would tell you is it's kind of in line with the whole, oh yeah, I'm going to eat the storm. So they should be given shelter here.
Okay, so welcome the new people in, which is exactly what I'm doing with Sharp, so I mark experience anyways. Yeah, because I have the move All Out Welcome. When you personally welcome newcomers in, roll +Sharp. On a 10+ on a 7 to 9 anonymous, stuff happens.
Yeah. And this is what I want to know, right? How are these people welcomed? And I assume this is a coordinated effort together with Blues,
Yeah.
kind of controls the settlement.
Yeah. So I would say to Blues, well, we should give them shelter. They don't. I'm not sure if they're hostile, but I trust in your gang that if it does turn out to be a bad thing, then
Oh,
yeah,
maybe,
you can take care of it.
yeah. What's Blue's position on this, in general? Do you not? Do you like completely? Maybe you think completely different about this.
I think like Blues is like a little like bothered by being involved in this. I feel like I think it was like a response like you're in charge of the welcome committee.
All right, I can do that.
Whoever you welcome in is your responsibility.
Yeah, I am aware.
Okay, so what does this look like, Hoover? You're going to go out there and greet them all by yourself, or?
If I would ask Blues for some of his gang members, but if he doesn't, then I'll go in alone.
I mean, I'll definitely. I'll definitely put it out there, but I would like to see like if Hoover asks for it, I'd like to see how he does that.
I think I offer some water in exchange, like because it's like do this for me and I'll give you a free pass and water for like a week, basically.
And is this Hoover coming to basically the still an uproar food processing place that
Well,
you just took over?
I think he would go specifically to members of Blue's gang that he knows aren't complete idiots. Like probably not go to Twice, for example.
Yeah, baby, probably.
Yeah.
So
Ooh.
you're going to baby to ask to speak to Blues, so.
Well, more like asking baby to come with me to greet the. Like, I don't want incompetent people with me when I'm greeting the.
Okay, well, that's a different thing, though, right? That's not asking Blues to get some people.
Oh, sorry.
But I'm cool with like what you put out there already, like asking me to okay, can I get some of your people if I get some water? I'd like you to roll on it though, because then I can get like XP if I do it. This is exactly.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to get to the actual scene. What the scene? Don't roll yet. What the scene looks like. That's why I'm asking. Like, do you go to Blues or how?
I go to Blues. Yeah, I would go to Blues.
So because I'm interested in also Blues. You're pretty busy, right? You with like just having taken over and basically secured the place.
I would imagine that this is in the same conversation that we had before about me greeting the people regardless. Like if
that's what I mean. That conversation hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, I think it's if you come to me, it's probably like in the food compound. I think you can see like my people like rounding up these kind of like religious idiots that are still hanging around, and like Blues like I think he as you like come in there, he's like commanding his people to like lock them up until they're sober from this fucking dust, which is like his way of saying that they've been outside and are fucking high, hallucinating and stuff. And don't let them out. And I think like when he turns around, he's like, I think he like takes off his like, I think it's like this cowboy hat actually, which he like takes off and like greets you. So why do I have the honor of receiving you here today then, Hoover?
we both know that there are people coming here. So I would like to request some backup when I greet them.
I think he wait, thinks about it, like at least seems like he thinks about it for a few seconds and says, I always had the impression that the way of division of labor here is that you're the welcome committee.
Yes, but this is a large truck, as far as I know. I don't want to be ambushed, if anything. And I don't want this settlement to lose another supplier.
Well, I could use some water.
That can be arranged. A week.
So is this going to be the deal going forward? We're the muscle of this place.
You pretty much own this place right now, so I'm so yeah, you deal with the muscle as well.
I guess. I guess maybe I'm actually kind of, because I think I guess maybe I'm angling for getting a deal out of you instead. And I think he waits a second more and then just like, well, protection for water sounds like a thing my guys can get behind.
Very well. That is as if you accept. And he offers his hand to shake on it.
I think he like takes his hat on again and then like clasps. I think he like almost like takes out his hand and then says, "But the people you greet and welcome in the society is still your responsibility."
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. I'm just, yeah.
Very well, we have an agreement then.
All right.
And then like whistles, I think, and like shouts for baby, and yeah, I imagine her being like this. I think she has like a mohawk or something, and there's like sleeveless like leather ish top, which almost seems like it could be almost like Kevlar vest. This how thick it is, and like a shotgun, and like I just like know that you're protecting Hoover. Welcoming committee duty.
All right.
Pick 3 of our best men.
Yes.
Oh, sorry, women also. I think he like spots himself as like, oh.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and yeah, she raises an eyebrow, looks at Hoover, and I think you got to roll pack alpha here.
Yeah. Seems legit. Oh yeah, get away that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, she yeah, she just gives you a nod and says, "Got you covered, boss." And basically escorts you, Hoover, out, and she'll do as you need her and the 3 other people to have done for the welcoming committee.
Yeah, and I think like as you walk out, like Blues like shouts to the other people, "Brothers, we're getting water!" And I was like, "Whoa!"
Nice. Here's the question. At least, like Hoover and Blues knew about this beforehand, but hours before they actually arrive, they like people know that they are coming. So, do any of the other two have like an interest here in whoever's coming in this huge giant vehicle?
I can't imagine anybody in the community who isn't interested. So yeah, definitely interested. Probably watch the whole approach.
And
Jaybird definitely kind of comes outside to see in a way that's easily written off, like he just needed to check, something, but also keeping an eye on him.
yeah. So, do I understand correctly that Hoover, you want to basically welcome them?
Yeah.
Outside of the dome.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. So I think because people will, that's correct. People will want to know what's happening. They will be watching, but they won't necessarily go outside of the dome for this reason. Cool. Yeah. So I think then we basically get right opening credits after the scene, and it's to the beginning of session move. So first of all,
So when do I roll for the welcoming party? The all are welcome.
when you're actually welcoming the party,
Okay, cool.
I would say. So the actual beginning of session move. So we have wealth now to look at, correct?
Yeah. I mean, it's good that all my moves are hard moves and that it's highlighted. So, see, I'm gonna roll my wealth. Oh.
All right.
Good.
Well, I think that seems appropriate for you and nobody knowing what's up with the actual perma-farms and stuff like that. So I'm gonna keep that in mind. Like, there's going to be a definite issue with that. How are things looking lifestyle wise?
I don't have to spend barter because I've been on in my source, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But Blues, let's stay with you for this for a moment.
Yeah, given that I failed my wealth move, I don't have any barter.
So, who's gonna pay for Blues?
I can't comp you this time. I'm running kind of thin.
How much barter would I have to pay? Because it makes sense that I pay for him because I offered water.
Yeah, you just kind of made a deal there, right?
Yeah. So I will pay 1 barter so you can have a normal lifestyle.
Deal saves today.
Yeah, Jaybird, how's lifestyle for you looking?
I don't have any barter to spare, but as long as my place is still in operation, I don't have to spend barter. So I'm okay. I just can't help people.
Yep, it is sell and sugar.
I spend my last barter and probably would be looking to make money, but don't want to crowd the final session with that necessarily.
It might make sense, right? You obviously have a potential employer. They might have something for you to do. Okay. Yeah, but that answers the lifestyle question. All right. So now about the welcoming party. What does this look like, Hoover? Like you've got 4 people from Blues, maybe leading them. And also, please, Blues, jump in and like tell us like what they look like or how they're armed and stuff like that if you want to.
I think. Sorry.
They're well armed.
Yeah. So they're not going to brandish their weapons or anything. It's just they have their weapons out, but it's more like in defense of this place. And I'm gonna like be like waving and greeting, or waving, and then when they see me, and basically parlay outside the dome.
Yeah, and I think we see this huge vehicle that is at the same time kind of slow moving. Come to a stop, like a good couple of dozen paces away, and we like hear the hiss of a door opening, and we see the lowering of a ramp, and someone coming down a ramp, followed by quite a number of other people. Like all in all, it looks like a dozen people, and they're coming towards you. And they look kind of worse for wear. They have like all breathing masks and shawls wrapped up around their faces. And they don't look all too good.
Welcome. Sorry. I suppose you have come seeking shelter?
Yeah, and the one who's obviously the leader kind of writes himself up, and in a very raspy voice, like through the filters, right? It's like, yes, I hope we come and find shelter here.
Yes, you have come to the right place. And I rolled my move now.
Yeah.
So
Please do.
that
You
is
want to read it
plus-
for us?
When you personally welcome newcomers in, roll plus sharp, and then it's 10 plus 7 to 9 miss. So I will roll first. And I have plus 1 ongoing because I'm still doing what Splendor told me to. So, which is take these people in and from the storm. So that is a partial success. That is a 7.
That is for an important insight from your son.
Yes, that is a 7. So I get to ask 2 questions.
So, Milt's the name.
Are they hiding a disease? Is my first question.
Mm-hmm. No, they are. They are not in good shape.
So it's more like something happened to them, but not plague wise or anything. Okay.
Yeah, they're not carrying something in the sense that, yeah, they're not sick. They're just weak. This group of people, and they've like been going on last reserves for a bit now.
My second question is: are they keeping any malicious secrets? So I'm basically sizing them up and seeing like if they're telling the truth, basically. I think.
So they're not coming with malice in mind here. That's clear to you. Malicious secrets. I think as you like shake Mills' hand, and I imagine it. Maybe you're probably like putting the other hand like on his shoulder to guide them in, and maybe even like telling Blues people that you've got with you to help the others get their stuff inside, that kind of thing. You get the definite feel that this is really like Mill and his people.
Okay.
Like he seems to like own these people. That's a definite thing that you immediately feel. Like
Wait, so he owns them as in slavery?
no, because that like we don't have that much of a concept for.
Okay.
He owns them in terms of they're his. They belong to him.
Okay.
They do like they probably owe him his their lives.
Oh, okay. That okay.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I let them in.
Okay. More mouths to feed.
Yeah.
So the interesting bit with the storm is the storm hasn't followed this vehicle at its heels. The storm has swung south. I think we talked about this last time, but the storm has swung south and seems to be lingering there now. And there's like where it glances over there, and it is Mill who finally says, "Yes, this is what destroyed our home. Pray that it doesn't turn northwards."
So I'm I'm gonna be the one to ask. Do any of you know how to operate perma-farms?
Perma-farms. Kryn might. Maybe.
And then I say to one of Bliss's
Oh,
people, take them to your boss and see if they can actually operate.
Wait, you're not taking anybody. You've just invited us for shelter.
Yes. Shelter. How long are you staying then?
Like he looks at you blankly and is like, "What do you mean?"
We currently have a food crisis, and we need someone to operate the perma-farms.
We're willing to do our part. That's all right.
That's my point. I would like them to, if they can work the farms. That was my intent. I apologize for any confusion.
Yeah, and he's like, "Okay, well, you have my apologies, but I'm a little protective of these people. I wouldn't want to. Let us see first. I'll even come with."
I want to read a person.
Yeah.
And get another experience. So, burp. And this is not really in service of Splendor, so I won't get the forward. And that is a miss. Even with the +1, it would have been a miss.
Yeah.
Still get the question though.
Yeah.
Right?
All right.
Exactly. Ask your question.
And
Or so and
What
he's
does
like,
your character intend to do?
I mean, he's honestly protective, right? And arriving here and you saying, "Oh, take that one. That one has valuable knowledge. Take them aside." That's what he probably quite sensibly like reacted towards and wanted to prevent. But I think you also get the sense, yeah, he's not like done with just owning these people.
Okay.
And as you realize that, I think like you're I think your eyes meet, and he's like and you can sense and feel and see that Mill's a scary motherfucker.
Okay.
And he recognized and sees this like maybe your dawning realization. He noticed that.
Okay. All right. Yes. Could you please escort the group to see the boss? And I asked the blues people.
Sure thing. Well, let's get you inside first and set up somewhere. And
Yeah, definitely.
so they're led inside with like lots of people like just ogling them. I assume. Is anyone else of you there? Otherwise they'll like will like kind of find a place where they can hole up in. But if anyone wants to get involved here or has another question, that's cool. Doesn't seem like it. Yeah, then we can cut here. So Sugar, you wanted to get some work. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yes. And Artemis has a so Artemis definitely has a thing that she needs your help with. And it concerns Garrett. Garrett is one of the followers of Grey Worm. And she wants him brought in and made to talk.
Okay. And she's offering me jingle to do this?
Yes. What? You feel that's too easy for you?
If there's jingle involved, it's not too easy. Do you want me to bring in more just to have fun?
No, I need this to be quiet. He needs to vanish without much fuss.
Vanishing?
Well,
That you were wanting to talk to him. Now the jingle element might be even more. I mean, magic isn't normally what I do.
just make sure he gets here and he stays here so I can talk to him here. And that he's willing to talk to me. Can you do that?
Yeah, but I can do that. I mean, if that's something you really, is that what's highest on your plate with what, 12 new people coming in with the perma-farms down? With Hoover taking over the food farms?
Blues took over, not Hoover.
Sorry, with Blues taking over the food farms?
Well, I hope they just solve those problems, right? And if they do, all will be good. We don't need to step in.
Yeah, okay, I just wanted to make sure that that was your priority, Garrett.
Yep.
Jingle it is.
So how are you going to go about this Garrett guy? Like, he's known to be nosy and to be talking for Eon, right? He's always like, yes, the Grey Worm said this and that, and you should listen to him. Like, no one is as close to Grey Worm as I am. And like talky bullshit like that.
Well, you know, I am known for great subtlety and diplomacy. So I believe that the sugar plan is to find the guy, walk up to him, punch him in the face, and then grab him and drag him across the compound to throw him where he needs to stay.
Okay.
I mean, he's one of the crazies. She's not a fan of them.
Well, where do you go where do you go looking for him though, right? Because the usual place where they were holed up, Blues has taken over now.
Yeah. But they're still in the dome, and the dome isn't that large.
Yeah, so you just go around and start asking questions to find him?
Yeah, I'm sure I could just ask the nearest concerned citizen, because there's probably people out on the streets, what with the newcomers coming in, looking all scary and increasing the hopelessness of the community. After the food, oh no, we're gonna starve. Hey, look, here's an example of starving people. Yay! See your future.
So you have no care if he knows that you're coming or not?
No.
Okay.
If she said be, I mean, she kind of, Sugar's not going to be discreet. Not with these people. It's not like she asked me to go grab one of the choppers guys or take something from the water barrel. I mean, messing with these people is kind of fun.
Yeah.
I'm a bad person.
No, that's cool. I kind of knew you are, right? Where was this? Okay.
I mean, and I'm not punching him to break his jaw. It's just to get his attention.
I mean, the thing is, he's going to know that you're coming, and he'll try to prepare for that. And
well, that might make it more fun.
Exactly. Yeah, I think this is because this is a little strange, but I think this is when it's not certain whether you're the cat or the mouse. Roll plus sharp. On a hit, you decide which you are. On a 10 plus, you take +1 forward as well. On a miss, you're the mouse. Yeah,
I guess I am the cat.
I think you are. Yeah, like this probably whatever. If he's like too weak or too drowsy to really get properly prepared, there's not going to be a trap that you're walking in. So you're the cat, most likely. When you're the cat, roll plus cool. On a hit, you catch your prey out. That's a 7. Yeah, on a 7 to 9, you've had to follow them where they wanted to go. They say where. Yeah, I think this is. I think this is what happens. You walk like you hear from someone, like we see someone pointing at like one of the buildings because you asked them a question, right? We see you, Sugar, walking over there, like a couple of people like getting out of your way, and there's already like shouting to be heard from the inside, and you round the corner, and there's Garrett who's like, what the fuck, what does she want? Fuck, there she is, and like he jumps out of the window, like falls down and starts running, and you like follow with sure steps, like where is he supposed to run to, right? You can be calm about this, but the place he runs to is very naturally the refuge. So yeah, Jaybird, like there's like a banging as someone slams your door open and comes stumbling into your establishment, and like probably falls over his own feet into the middle of your small room, and then there's like the silhouette of Sugar in the door frame, or stepping into the door frame, following him. I think we'll take a 5-minute break here.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, shall we continue? Yeah, so Jaybird, you hear this clattering as like one of those cultists comes like stumbling into the door, falls over himself down in the middle of your place. And then as like the door swings back open, it's I imagine Sugar's silhouette is pretty recognizable, right? And we see her like step into the door frame. What do you both do in this situation?
Jaybird immediately gets up from whatever he'd been doing and kind of sweeps into the middle of the room, going, "Nope, what are you doing here?"
To who?
To both of you.
Garrett and I are going to have a little talk, or else things are going to get ugly. She kind of taps her thumb on the top of her machine gun that she's carrying in her right hand. You know, tap, tap, tap.
What? No. I have no business with you. He starts shrieking like, "You can't touch me. You can't. You don't own me. You can't touch me." And he's like, on his ass, basically, like trying to get to the furthest corner away from the entrance where Sugar is.
No one's having a talk of that sort in here. Why are you bringing this into my door?
I wasn't planning on talking to him in here. We're going to leave politely. I think Garrett would really like it if he left with me instead of making me drag him out.
Well, you're not gonna drag me out because you can't touch me. You can't touch me. That's against the law.
I appreciate that he thinks that I'm the law in here. But
I think he thinks of the water
bearers law.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is not law private any longer.
That as well. But I don't think he's like the best lawyer.
Yeah, so I'm gonna leverage that. Yeah, Sugar. Yeah, he's got a point here. You're making your grievances public. And not only public, you're dragging him into my house. Whether you intend it or not.
I didn't drag him anywhere.
Let this drop.
He is the one that just made it public. Not that we're at the source. We're in the town. Aren't these laws different?
In my place, the only law is take it outside and keep it there. And you're running pretty far afoul of that.
No, what are you talking about? That's exactly what I want. To take it outside. I totally agree with what you just said.
Well, I suggest then you take your grievances and go with them outside. And I just sit down here and have a meal or... And he like pushes himself up onto like an empty bench, right? In one of the little cabins there that you've got.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's angling to be like, I would just want to be a customer now here right now.
Yeah, the tagged home base can't be chased anymore.
I mean, there's a potential here for Sugar to be fast talking Jaybird.
Is Sugar gonna try to fast talk Jaybird? That's trying to out hot the hot one.
Yeah, I don't think that is the route that she would go. I mean,
Okay.
it's his place. She doesn't want to mess it up. She likes to come here just as much as anybody else. And she'll say that. I like this place as much as anybody else. I don't want to get blood everywhere. I'll just sit down and wait if that's okay with you, Jaybird. Just enjoy the ambiance.
See, this place is called the Refuge for a reason. There's not supposed to be any threat, such as you camping here waiting for people to leave. And
Are you reading, Sugar?
No, I'm angling a different direction.
Okay.
And people who run afoul of that might find themselves a bit less welcome in the refuge for taking advantage of my good and giving nature. I am totally trying to manipulate someone.
Who and into what?
I'm trying to manipulate Sugar into letting this go.
Interesting. Before you roll,
Mm-hmm.
like, what's your disposition towards that Sugar? Because do you want to interfere here, or because that option is potentially open?
Can I like add my hex into my roll somehow, or?
Well, I don't really think you. I mean, unless you need to roll for EXP, which I'm down for. But she's absolutely. She says that's fine. She's not. She likes this. Like she likes the refuge. Whatever. The guy can't live in there. She'll be happy. She'll be happy to step outside.
Does it count as rolling hot if I'm so hot I don't even need to roll? Yeah, I was aiming it toward one of my better
there's
stats.
a roll here. If there's no contention from Sugar's side, then there isn't a roll.
Oh, then okay. I'll contend. No, it wouldn't make sense. That's her whole thing is the people that have the vital resources are vital. So she doesn't want to fuck with that. And on top of that, she actually does like Jaybird. So,
aw, I'm so touched.
Well, the prettiest thing,
Jaybbird's best.
prettiest thing in the community, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, awesome. So you close the door, and yeah, I don't need to bring this in here. And there's like an obvious after you've closed the door, there's an obvious deflation in Garrett. It's like,
but as I close the door, I say to Sugar, I'll be pleased to serve you another time with a clear, give it a cool it off period. I don't want to see her again in 5 minutes.
No, not a problem, Jaybird. Not a problem. I don't want to cause you any problems. I just want to talk to that guy.
Yeah. So what do you do when you turn back around? Do you actually engage Garrett, Jaybird, or do you...
I turn around and just 0 to 60. Actually, I guess I was being pretty firm, so it just immediately shifts gaze to Garrett and what are you doing, running in here with someone on your tail?
I don't even know what she fucking wants with me. I just heard she was coming and asking about me, and I don't want to have any business with Sugar. I don't have any grievances with Sugar, so there's no need for me to be in private with Sugar.
I'm hurt.
I feel like having Sugar on your tail is perhaps somewhat obvious what she might be after you for, but
I didn't do anything. I don't know what she wants.
I think I want to read a person.
Yeah.
And I miss so badly.
I think you still get to ask a question now.
Where did I put that? List of moves. There it is. Oh yeah, ask anyway, but we're prepared for the worst. So I want to know if he's telling the truth, but this is going to backfire so hard on me, probably.
So, yeah, he is telling the truth. He has no idea, and he's panicked as fuck for this happening to him. And he leans forward and goes, I mean, like, can you help me? Like, I promise I won't be like any trouble. I just need to get like out and away. And maybe you can bring me to Hoover. You've got contacts to Hoover, right? And I assume you have another way out of here than your entrance. You could smuggle me out or something, and Sugar doesn't need to be the wiser about this.
Hun, I think Hoover's the last person you want to see because you're making your grievances about as public as they can be right now.
I don't even have a grievance. I'm trying to avoid any grievances here. Like, truly, honestly.
Well, if that's what you want, suppose I could get you to Hoover. But I can't promise it's going to go well for you.
I think that's the only place I can go now. And I think you hear like a sudden rattling from the roof. Sugar, you've been you went outside. I imagine did you like sit down on the opposite side of this little walkway here to watch the door, or what did you do?
It sounds like it's a pretty convenient thing. I mean, yeah, chill, sit, walk outside. That's a nice place. Just sit down.
Yeah, you hear a sound from up above, and you look up and turn a bit around, and that's when you can feel like the wind picking up. The horizon in the south definitely seems to have darkened. Let's check in with Blues and your situation with the perma-farms, right? So there's like a couple of basically finished what shall we call them? Yeah, let's just call them like food cartridges that are like done and ready. Like they're there. But the whole entire thing seems to be inoperable. And I don't know who's like your best I guess you got some mechanics who work on your vehicles, so who would that be? I don't think we have. Oh no, I think we did talk about someone, right?
Yeah, and I do have I added some technical expertise or trade in some particular valuable commodities. So I think, let's see.
Do you have a name for me?
I think. Okay, so I've used. I have dog and baby. And let's see if I can find. I think shithead.
Yeah, so shithead. Pronouns?
They them.
Yeah. So shithead is like the one if you like want to solve something like repairing some kind of tech, your vehicles, that kind of thing, right?
Mm.
And yeah, and he's I don't know what Rolfo was doing here, how this works. Like partly some of these things are completely ruined already, as far as I can tell. Than the other ones, and like we tried to get them working again, but they fail. Like we have like failures every 20 minutes, and then we'll like sit down and we need to take like the whole row of things apart and reinitialize them, and I have no fucking like it's just not working.
I think Bruce is just like listening, like letting him babble out,
Yeah.
and then just like, just tell me what you need.
Need fucking Rolfball.
Let's try this again. Tell me what you need, and next time don't say a fucking dead guy's name.
I mean, I don't. Shit, boss.
I think like Blue's like looks at him being a little panicky.
Here's my question: do you want to push him more into like giving you an answer that's hopefully at least like serviceable, or
I think I want to. No, I think I'm trying to read him because he's just a panicky guy, and I'm not sure if he's talking bullshit or not.
eight, you hold one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, shit, boss. I don't. And realizing, well, shit, I'm not giving the answer I was being asked, and kind of stumbling over his words at that moment.
Yeah, there's a few different directions with these questions, actually.
Yeah.
I think I want to ask, how can I get him or them to get their shit together and give me a fucking answer?
Yeah, go hard on them.
Yeah, okay. So I think like I think actually like Blues like takes his machete and like takes it out of his like thing on the back and like slams the butt at, like the end of the handle down on the table where they are standing, and it says, "Listen, if you don't contribute, you might as well die out in the desert. Give me a fucking answer right now."
Yeah.
That's a +1 for the
It doesn't give +1. Reader person doesn't give a +1.
No?
No.
Uh-oh. Well, nothing on the line then. Woo.
But I mean, it still carries forward some momentum, right?
Yeah, now so I level up.
And it's also very clear, like what answer, like which option I'm going to take here, which is give you something they think you want, or tell you what you want to hear. And he's like, well, time. First of all, and second, I think we would do well with, and like new piping, like this new piping. It's like half of our worries. It won't solve everything, but it will make things better. And yeah, this is like stuff that you might be able like to rip out of the canal somewhere else, or already have enough at hand potentially. Who knows? So yeah, he's asking for like, I need time to be working on this in quiet, and I think I can make things better. And your threat basically is the thing he needs as a good motivator.
Yeah,
That's why
and I think
actually-
like Blue's like takes his like machete back in his thing in the back and says, "Good, you're contributing," and then like turns around and walks out.
Hoover, do you stay a bit with Mill and his people?
Well, I was gonna take them to Blues's place to figure out if they can do the perma-farms, right?
Yeah, I mean they are like half starved, half died of thirst, so they want to be like patched up first and like actually.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna give them water, but then I'm say we don't have much food. We need to work. We need someone to work the perma-farms like immediately if we want to get food back up and running.
Right. What's wrong with your perma-farms?
The only person who knew how to run them died recently.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Have you told them of the laws, by the way?
No, I not well. I'll let them know now. So there are some laws that he broke, and he was punished for that.
Laws, you say? Like what?
All right, let me look it up. Offer sacrifices of blood. Don't touch what isn't yours. Keep your agreements. Settle grievances privately by trial and ordeal.
Okay. Well, they sound sensible enough to me.
Yes.
I see. And this person broke a law and died for it?
The punishment was disfigurement, but he died before. We don't have medics either, so he died before we could patch him up.
I see.
He tried to run away also.
I mean, if the punishment is anything that definitely leads to death, no wonder. I shouldn't be this ungrateful. I apologize. You just took us in, and now I don't even know your people in this place. We will happily see.
Blues. His name is Blues.
Blues. Yes. Well, Kryn, you feel up for this? And Kryn is like gives like a like taking a swig out of some water, right? And like gives a nod and is like, yeah, I can look at what problems that they've got, but I don't know what they're growing here though. But I can have a look. Yeah, sure. Well, Uber, I trust you. You can take Kryn with you.
Yes. All right. So I
Thank
go
you
in.
for opening your gates again to us.
It's no problem. And now I take Ren to Blues then, or to the perma-farm at least.
Mm-hmm. What are we doing with that sugar? Or wait, Hoover, when you head outside, the wind's picking up and you also get this. Oh, the storm must have turned. What are you doing with this information? Do you just shrug it off at the moment? Because what are you gonna do with the storm, sugar? Right? You're on a job,
and I don't have resources other than myself that I control. So, in the traditions of classic D&D, I shoot the gazebo. I mean, right now it's a rattling.
Yeah.
I was distracted. I was going to actually open up the door to the refuge and poke my head in and go,
5 minutes after.
Is 5 minutes up? Because I think the storm is coming, so you might want to batten down the hatches.
As you open the door, Jaybird yells, "Fucking really?" and then listens to what you have to say.
Okay, so you're still there with Garrett. You haven't like smuggled them out in the meantime, or tried to.
No, I was probably conferring with some of my cast and crew about how I was going to do this when all of a sudden Sugar butts back in.
And that was it. It's like, she just like, the storm's here. You might want to batten down your hatches. And then she closes the door and she goes back outside. Or remains outside. And she will be observing, like,
Yeah.
how bad is this storm? I'm no meteorologist, but
Right. It's oncoming, but it's not bad yet. The wind's picking up a little bit. You can still keep your eyes on the refuge to see how things.
I mean, if it starts getting, like hurricane or tornado, like, I think that she'll be leaving Garrett to whatever he wants to do, and she'll find a more secure location.
No, it's not that bad yet.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell Fianelli, my bartender, to round up to go to the source, get us some more water, take Garrett with you, smuggle him in. And I'm going out front to see what's up with this storm.
Who you're saying this to?
My bartender, Fianelli. She hasn't come up yet.
Oh yeah.
I have a cast and crew.
Yeah. She's like, and kind of leans in. That might mean I potentially run afoul of Sugar.
Sugar has an issue with you. She's got an issue with me. So I'll get in the way if need be. Nobody touches my people. I said she's out front and I'm headed out front. I'll have an eye on her. You can take him out the back.
Um,
You can take Kettle with you if you want.
yeah. That I'd feel better about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think this is the role. I think that you made a good case. And it's part of her job. So yeah, she's like, okay, Erd, you're with us. Kettle, don't let him do anything stupid, please.
And I definitely clap eyes on him and say, and do not do anything stupid.
And then you head out to check out the storm and talk to Sugar.
I'm gonna about close the door behind me and say, so kind of look around, taking the storm. How long's it been like this? Did you just get up?
It just started kicking up. It looked pretty bad out on the horizon. And it's apparently what destroyed the newcomers' settlement, from what I could hear when Hoover was welcoming everybody.
Sounds like you're reading the sitch when one of you is helping, actually.
That does sort of sound like
about
it.
the storm, at least.
So I'm going to guess you're the reading the sitch person.
Okay. Although, do you have sharp as a marked thing? Do you want to roll sharp?
I do not have sharp as a marked thing.
Okay, then I will go ahead and roll it, since neither of us stands to benefit anyway.
And I can't really help. Apparently, I just rolled as low as I could.
Oh, 10.
I'll take credit for that good roll, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have a question for you, Sugar. And you can think about it for a bit. There is something you forgot to take care of, or that you left somewhere. And this could be associated with the storm, right? Where like, oh no, I forgot to close the windows on my place, or something like that, even, right? And I'd like to know what it is. And like, if you don't know anything right now, then maybe something comes up later that you've forgotten. So think about it for a moment.
Okay.
And yeah, so you look around, Jaybird. Storm picking up. Do you, like, just for the image sake, is there maybe actually like a thing where you can like climb up a like an antenna tower that's right at the refuge, so you can get a little bit of a like, what does this look like?
Oh, sure. Yeah, there's an antenna tower
Yeah.
right next to the refuge that's out of service, and so I can kind of climb my way up the refuge and then kind of up the antenna tower if I want. A good lookout.
Yeah. So I think we
Probably
can
have kind of a
like,
maintenance ladder.
yeah, like halfway up a ladder to actually like look at something, talking to Sugar down on the ground. It was like looking up at the sky. What do you want to ask?
I think, what should I be on the lookout for first?
Yeah. Two things, like there have been storms before, but nothing that looks like this. So like you actually get this. We see it now for the first time too, at least this close to the settlement. Like, seems to spread all across the southern horizon, and it's a like you can't make out where like ground and sky is supposed to start anymore. It seems to be like a huge wall that's going to run over this entire place. And I think what you should be on the lookout for is, if you want to hole up in the refuge, there's like still work to be done. Like things need to be buttoned down, nailed shut. And what you definitely should be on the lookout for is to get this done before people get ideas. This place is called the refuge.
Mm-hmm.
And it could be catastrophic even at the last minute, like everybody wants to take your refuge here, and it won't be a refuge for anybody at that point.
Hmm. I guess that also answers which enemy is the biggest threat.
I mean, I'd give you some other information and like tell you the second biggest if you want to pick it.
Well, I am curious to know which enemy is most vulnerable to me. I assume not the storm, unless maybe I can seduce a storm.
Which enemy is most vulnerable to you? That's a challenging question because who's your enemy, right?
I think on some level, Jaybird regards everyone as a potential enemy, except not so much Blues, because Blues has backed the place, but it could still swing.
Okay. Well, here's maybe how we can answer this. Who of the other player characters actually has like a true proper soft spot for Jaybird? Sugar. Yeah, I think you noticed
Sugar
this.
definitely has like the goo goo eyes for him as much as she does goo goo eyes.
Yeah.
And I think
Jaybird
She
was
wants
totally
to kill
not aware
him
of that.
totally less than she does anybody else.
And you notice this pretty like in the scene, right? Because you're like looking out and like getting this worry across your face, and you look down, and yeah, Sugar was kind of looking at this guy, but Sugar is really kind of more looking at you.
Yeah, appreciated how
watching you.
majestic I look up on this kind of lookout tower.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's the low roll was storm. What storm?
So yeah, so that's a vulnerable. The Sugar is most vulnerable to you.
Can I spin what's my enemy's true position into some sense of how long I have before the storm hits? Or is that angling things too much?
I don't think you need to spend a question on this. So,
Awesome.
and I can just tell you like that as a preview, or also for the entire group. The storm's definitely going to hit at the end of the session,
I
depending on
assumed it
rolls,
was
it's
a
going to
moment of
be-
greatest dramatic timing, but
and assuming bad rolls can make it hit earlier before you get your business finished that you want to get finished. So that's maybe not an actual question.
then I guess I will just toss my last question on this one. As a backup plan, because Jaybird always has a backup plan, where's my best escape route? Way in, way past?
Out of the refuge, or
Out of the path of the storm, possibly?
I mean, I can tell you, yeah. So there's like this huge big vehicle that's like built to endure like anything, that's standing just right outside. It probably needs some kind of refuel and stuff. But yeah, like if you just want a GTFO, that's the thing to take and go with it.
Nice. Okay. So after scoping the situation out, Jared's gonna climb back down.
So here's the question.
Sugar will help him down just to make sure he's safe.
Yeah.
And Jared very graciously accepts this help.
Hoover and Blues, what do you want to get done? Like, you obviously get word and then can take a look and see that the storm is coming.
All right. Perma-farms, I'm gonna have to wait. I'm gonna talk to Splendor to see what the plan is.
Mm-hmm.
So I take Grin back to whatever the guy's name was.
Oh, I mean,
Oh.
you can, like, it's fine by me if you want to say you've like sent Kryn over to Blues.
Yeah, I've done that. Told him where to go, or told them where to go, so they don't get lost, and tell them and have it specifically be that he. So and that make sure that Blues knows that I sent you here. I just have to do something that I could, and that made it so that I couldn't show up with him. So,
I think Blues understands looking at the horizon.
Yeah. So that's what's going on there. I'm gonna go see what Splendor's plan is. You're muted.
Yep, that'll definitely be interesting. And Blues, what do you?
I mean, I'm gonna scream at my gang if they have some fucking pipes in their saddlebags.
Yes, I think that's valid.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna fucking thieves. Yeah, they have fucking pipes.
Yeah, and if they like didn't, they'll like, yeah, boss will be back in half an hour, and they'll just go around the neighborhood and like rip and salvage pipes out of the neighborhood.
Mhm.
And I think then it's also when like this she like clearly doesn't fit, like sticks out as a sore thumb among your crew. This person in is like rather small and fragile looking, and also wears stuff that you've never seen before. Except you get told like this is one of those new people, and
Yeah.
she gets introduced as Kryn, and she's supposed to know a bit or two about perma-farms.
Yeah, I think like Bruce just like takes his hat off, like, ma'am, you're here for
To well said, you or this Hoover. You, I might be able to help. I operated perma-farms back at the place, the town. I don't know, what do you call this place? And she kind of looks like out a window, right? And I think this is suddenly where we all realize like settlements don't have names, because like it's kind of a strange thing that you never knew that there was another settlement out somewhere else. Like this is kind of world breaking news actually for these people. And she realizes this at the same time, that like if there's only one place, like that's called the town or whatever.
Yeah. I think like Blue's like you see him put his like head tilt his head and look down at this this woman, sizing her up and down.
You're reading her?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can ask it any time during the conversation. You don't need to.
Yeah,
do
and I
that
think
one.
like Blue says, so you want to contribute, huh?
I mean, you were nice enough to take us in. Yeah, she shrugs.
Yeah, I think he says like, whoever took you in, I don't do charity, and I think like he waits a second to see if there's a reaction, and if there isn't, like he says, I could need help. We need to get this farm running and get food. But if you're helping, you're one of us.
I am. Like her eye twitches, and she's like, I mean, I'm here to help.
I think like Blues like stops her when she's so like undetermined about what she's gonna say, and says, "Look, we have food if we can get this fucking farm working, and we have water, and we might have shelter if I can get these dumbasses to find the fucking pipes before the storm hits. You're not gonna get a better offer than that." But whatever.
Yeah.
But like whatever loyalties you had before are gone. And I think I want to use the read a person thing to ask how could I get your character to abandon their alliances to become a farmer.
Yeah, I think you're kind of doing it, right? You're kind of offering like a whole new option, a whole new allegiance here. But it does feel like this is actually a seduce or manipulate.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah. Let's see if I can get this to. I actually was kind. Why? No XP. Yeah, I shouldn't have been kind.
So here's the thing, right? You say that, we definitely get like a stronger gust of air that makes stuff outside that's not nailed down already, like clatter across the yard or something like that. And she's like, and here's where you read a person comes in, and she's like, okay, I mean, wow, yeah, I mean, I'll help you. Also, if it gets food to my people, that'll also be good. So I'm glad to become like one of your crew. And what you like intuitively get is this person doesn't fucking care if she becomes a farmer or not, right? At least it's not by like giving her a good deal to so what she's saying versus how you're reading this person doesn't match. But you don't have any evidence for her not being like on the up and up here.
Yeah,
because I think right And I think what happens is like Shithead comes in and he's like, okay, we got the pipes, and who's this?
She's helping you fix the farm.
Oh, you're one of the new. Oh, have you worked on these kinds of things before? And she like vigorously nods. Yeah, I'm not sure you're producing the same, but I kind of know how they ought to work at least. And Shithead is like, oh yeah. So, and like, if you don't interject here, he's gonna start talking nerdy tech shit at
No,
her.
I don't interject, and I think like I look at the other brothers that are standing around the compound and says, "Now the rest of you need to batten down the hatches. Storm is coming."
Yep. Let's switch over to Hoover. So you're heading back home, and
Yeah.
I assume.
And I'm assuming everyone else is home as well, like all the people, because because they're my responsibility. So
Yeah, and I think Gage and Porter are already like at work, making sure everything is kind of nailed down and shut and stuff.
okay.
So when you come home, they're like already in the midst of getting things ready and prepared.
All right. I'm gonna go to Splendor, take him to the if I find him, and then take him to the console and ask him, okay, what's the next thing we need to do?
I think what you get is like, or here's my question: where do you find Splendor?
In his room, if he's not already walking towards the storm.
No, he isn't. And what is he just sitting there and staring at emptiness? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we see this where you like gently get him to stand up, walk over to the console, and sit down. He doesn't react. You like take his hands, put it on like where the keys are, right? And I think the most that you get out of him at this situation, you ask, what do we do next, right? It's just a like his fingers are just like.
All right, I'm gonna open my brain then with gold because I have weather eye.
Oh, what is what do you mean? How do you open your
So
brain in this situation?
I'm trying to figure out why Splendor's isn't doing what he was doing before. Like what's going on with Splendor? That maybe like if the storm is interfering with his psychic things or
Yeah,
what's
I think
going on.
you've seen him before like this, though. Like he just gets sometimes he's like in his own mind, you feel, and not very responsive to the outside world.
In that case, I'm gonna open my brain to get him to respond.
What I mean though is like,
Yeah.
what's the fictional thing you're actually doing, right?
I will, I guess, hug him and pray to whatever god there is that he answers me.
Oh, okay. So that's how you're making this intense.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's get that roll on the table and.
And I am doing what Splendor told me to do, so I'm taking +1. And that is a 13. Yay.
Okay. Let's
So open my brain.
wait a second. We'll come back to what the result is.
Yeah, I was just reading what the
you get
move was.
visions.
Yeah.
That are pretty specific and concrete. Yeah. Yeah, no, I have an idea. Yeah, Sugar and Jaybird. I mean, you need to start working on this stuff. Sugar, how do you respond to, like, I assume, Jaybird, you told them, oh, well, we've got to get going here and fix stuff up.
Yeah. Shepard comes down and just says, "So, we need to start batting up the hatches. You helping me?"
Yes, but I got to do something first. I'll be right back.
What's more important than not getting blown away in the storm?
I don't think she's going to say. I think she's just going to run off. It's much
Okay,
too
then.
embarrassing. It's much too embarrassing. There's a reveal. It's in
Oh,
relation
no.
to the question.
Jaybird is annoyed, but it goes back inside to get some stuff. So we can start acting up.
So, yeah, I think you preparing the refuge is do something on the fire. And the fire here is, do you manage to nail everything down properly? And
I finally get to roll with hot because I have, you call that hot? Meaning that I do stuff under fire with my hotness.
okay, question here. What does this look like? Because
Can it wait? Just wait. Angie's just got to go run home and then come back. She has to be there for the hot.
yeah, we can wait with that.
That's just cruel to do the hot move when she's not there to see it.
This is what you get for not doing what Jaybird wants right now. You miss out on all of his hotness.
Then Blues, you have your gang do this shit, I assume, right?
Of course.
So you get to use that move for this. You don't need to do it as something under fire. Yeah, nice. So what does it look like? Like, how do you prepare for the storm to hit?
I mean, I think this is a pretty like common occurrence for my gang, to be honest. I mean, we're bikers. We're out in the desert when storms hits all the time. So it's like pretty much like I think like doing like tarps over things that are important, bolt them down, and like literally batting the hatches, like taking closing all the windows with wooden planks and stuff. I think it's like pretty. And I think like this is like the point where you see like how much of a unit these people are. Like they're really like just communicating very like not much verbally. It's quite silent, and I think you see just like Blue's not really doing much except like overlooking what they're doing.
And what's like because this is resource intensive, and not every building might be super suitable for this. What's like the little sanctuary you built for yourself? Do you set it in a basement on of one of the major buildings? Is that a ground level?
Yeah, I think already like that. Like there is the main building of the farm. There's like this storage space, like pretty much like I would imagine like like an old kind of storage space in like a farm would be like made of earth, except it's like of course sand here, but it was used to like store food probably because it's like a little like humid in here, like in comparison to like the whole rest of the place, which is like not humid at all. And I think like already moved like most of the farm stuff down there because I mean it makes more sense to have it in the basement anyway. Not having people sneak in and out of there.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. Hoover, tell me how's this going? Like, how do you get a connection back to Splendor? And I'll take over once the vision starts.
So I think I'm just praying pretty much to anyone who can listen, and like while I'm hugging him and pretty much crying because I'm otherwise I'm not gonna get Splendor to say anything ever, I guess, because like he only really talked to me that one time, and I'm afraid that he won't talk to me again. And I think that's when the connection happens. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's a point where you feel him moving in your arms, right?
Yeah.
And I think he's maybe like even with this like gloved hand touching your face.
Yeah.
And there's this you see this lucidity in his gaze as he looks at you. And he turns and he grabs for something on the table, and I think they're like crayons or something lying around.
Yeah.
And
That's fine.
and he like looks for a different one, and he has like two in his hands.
Okay.
And then he starts running them across like his white astronaut suit.
I'm gonna read that person because I have no idea what this means.
Well, this is still part of your full
okay, never mind.
success. Yeah,
All
yeah. Where like you see this and he starts running it down his arm and up his arm, and he's creating like these very clear lines that go like this.
All right.
Right. But they're not two lines. Like he has two crayons, right? And he's got the a reddish brown one in front, and following it is a green one.
Okay.
So the line he actually draws is always like that reddish brown, and then the green drawn over it. So it's an actual like, green line at the end of it.
Okay.
And this is where he's like, he just makes a sound, and you're like, and he leans forward and starts typing on the console at that point, and it's really a and this time it's different what he said last time. What he's writing is the storm will let us eat again, and not I will eat the storm.
I'm gonna read Splendor because I have no idea what the hell is going on. So that's sharp, and that would make me advance.
Okay.
I'm gonna read Splendor, and I'm not sure if this has the +1, but I'm guessing not. So 8. I get one question.
So you're before you ask, you're like in this interaction, like I assume you're like asking questions, like pointing at his suit and like, what is that? Is that a, and you get a confirmation at certain points sometimes. And so he's drawing the path of the storm. That's what you're pretty sure of by now.
Okay.
the question is, what's up with these colors that he's using? And he like pulls up on the console like weird, strange images, and it's not like they're not photographs. So technical. I mean, we would recognize them as like graphs and technical. Like you can't read any of that and make out what it means, but that's where he's getting at least the information from. At least it appears that way.
So I'm not sure how to angle this. Like I could angle different questions. Like, is your character telling the truth? As in, was your character telling the truth now that the storm is gonna let us eat, or was he telling the truth earlier when he said he will eat the storm?
I think both are true. The problem is the second one is, well, not if you die in the storm, then you won't be, then it won't help you to eat.
So,
but I think what you, what's really clear to you now is this storm is, the storm has a purpose.
okay.
And I think he shows you like on the console picture that looks very much like the lines he drew on his suit, like as if like the storm is following a certain path, like that, as if it's like pre-programmed. This is the path it's going to take. It's not a weather as such.
All right. And I can't ask the other question. I can advance though. But I will basically go for insight as to what he wants me to do now. Is it still like let him eat the storm or something, or
And
I have to look for an advance.
I don't think he knows.
All right.
You would definitely have to push him harder on this.
All right. I will do this once I pick a move that I can use.
Okay.
All right.
Sure.
If I can pick a move. Yes, I can pick a second move.
Sugar, right. You're going for something somewhere.
Well, apparently it hasn't been discussed, so I'm going to insert that there are cats in this community. There's not many, and she is going for one in particular who is the meanest, orneriest, ugliest, horriblest of the cats, which she likes, and or she hates him and he hates her mutually, and so it's going to be a grab him and put him in a bag as he hisses at her affectionately after some clawing and scratching and bloodletting, and then it will be the race back to see the hot. But that's the only thing out of her own dwelling that she cares about that isn't the guns. So.
Okay, yeah. So what does this look like when you... I don't think this needs a roll. You can get your cat.
He would object to being called my cat, but okay, go ahead.
Does it have a name then? Does he have a name? Do you call him, or...
I think she probably calls him a variety of profanity, but probably the name... I think maybe the community, since it is so small, they might have a name for him. But I'm going to say that she calls him Bastard. So that's the affectionate lovey-dovey title.
Okay, yeah. And so you have like this, what is this, like a
They
You
also-
return with a bag that's
hissing a little bit, and
yeah.
and conversely, there's vermin that came along out here. So the cats kind of are the anti-vermin patrol. So
And yeah, so you come back to the hotness that is making sure the refuge is all prepared for the storm, right?
yes,
You want to give us that scene to
And-
what Sugar returns here?
She reappears just in time to see me come back out of the refuge, accompanied by our musical talent, which is 3 people, with some boards and nails and stuff, prepared to batten down the hatches, just ready for the hotness to start. And
woohoo!
Jared immediately notices she's got this hissing bag. It's like, what the fuck?
It's important.
Yeah, sure. Why don't you put it inside so you can help us with this?
She does, and probably releases the demon cat in once it's inside.
Yeah. Do you pay attention or notice that Garrett's gone?
No.
Okay.
Not. She's concerned about the cat and not dying to it, and then to getting back to the hotness.
She has her priorities in the right place, yeah. Who cares about her job?
There wasn't a time limit put on it. She can bag it at any point in her head.
And yeah, Hoover, you suddenly hear you hear your wife Gage calling for you. Someone down here.
All right, I'll go check.
And well, there's like we get Kettle and the name, where do I have it?
Fianelli?
Fianelli already like picking up like the water delivery that you get every time, like that's the deal between you, right? And well, you better hurry up. This is something Gage says to them. This storm is coming, and it's gonna be soon. And then she looks over, and there's also this one of those cultists standing there, kind of apart from the other two, because Fianelli and Kettle kind of have done their job now, right?
Yeah.
So they don't pay him any attention more, and he's like just looking around. He's like, Hoover,
What are you doing here?
I'd like to report a crime, and I like to seek protection.
Explain.
Like earlier, I was threatened and almost attacked by Sugar. If I hadn't gotten away, I would be talking to you right now.
I want to read him, and I still have to decide on what I'm getting, so I will get more sharp.
Okay.
Because that seems to be a thing that's been going on, so yeah. Read the person, and that is a
Nice.
14. So
you get to ask 2 questions in the course of the conversation. What do you actually say to him first?
all right, let me find the questions. All right. Why did Sugar chase you?
I don't know. I have no idea what Sugar would want from me. I have no business with her, and I have no grievances with her. Just to be clear about this, I'm not airing grievances publicly. Never have. Never would.
Do you why? So you have no idea why Sugar would chase you down the street?
No, I heard from Dreyfus that she's asking for me, and I'm sorry, but if Sugar's asking for you, that's not a good thing.
Is your character telling the truth? Now that would be for Hoover. I know as a player that he's telling the truth, but yeah. But this is for Hoover's sake.
And Hoover, Garrett really doesn't have an idea.
All right. All right. So, what do you want me to do then? And
I
ask, what does your character wish I do?
So I think, well, he hasn't completely thought this through. Like, he doesn't really care what happens with Sugar.
Okay.
But obviously, to have Sugar not be a problem for him ever again in the future would be nice. But most importantly, he wants protection. He wishes that, like, you recognize that like the law was violated here, and he's owed protection somehow for being made a victim here.
All right.
Which comes in very handy right now, because like by now he's also recognized the storm's hitting, and he's like nowhere near or in a position to find good shelter. And yeah.
Last question.
So he looks at you like hopefully, and he's like, I mean, I can make myself useful. Like, okay, like, no, he's not really a useful person, at least in the traditional sense.
My last question: how could I get you to be useful? If he's not gonna be useful, period.
I mean, you like look at him, and you look at it, at his like bloodshot eyes, and in the rags that he's wearing. And I imagine Hoover, like you're like thinking about this, looking at him, studying him, and then you look to the side and you see like on the staircase there, Splendor standing there. Like, so if anyone would be able like to understand or maybe make sense of whatever, it's these people who like willingly go out into the ways to experience this shit.
All right, cool. That's cool. That's perfect. So Garrett, I have a favor to ask of you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, anything.
Right. So, during the course of the past few days, Splendor has been telling me that he is going to eat the storm, or the storm is gonna feed us, or let us eat again. I want you to figure out what he really fucking means, okay? And do that now, because we don't have much time.
Oh, what your your son?
Yes.
Oh,
Splendor. Figure Splendor out. I don't know how how you're gonna do it, but I need you to do it like right now.
He said he's going to eat the storm.
He told me that, but just figure him out. You're one of these weird cultist people. Do that now.
And he like turns around like to see Splendor, and you see his eyes like go wide. The Storm Eater, a Splendor, and we cut there.
Okay.
So Sugar is taking refuge in the refuge with Jaybird.
For now, Sugar's just helping the refuge become a refuge. So, I hope.
I mean, we already had the role for you to do that. So.
Oh, I never actually rolled for that. I don't think.
Do you need me
Because
to
we
roll
cut
as
away from
well?
it.
Oh no, you did roll, right? That's why we said this is you
Hot.
were rolling with hot instead of cool. Didn't you? roll
Yeah, I
that
said
one?
I was going to, but then I didn't actually roll it because
Also,
we cut back to Hoover.
Matthias,
Yeah.
or Matthias, do you want me to roll as well for setting the place up?
I think that is happening like separately. You've got like people for that.
Okay.
It's just you three. It's not like a you've got the fictional positioning to right. You already have that your place is kind of secured and stuff like that.
No, I don't. That is one of the things I did not put in.
Oh, okay.
I could have added it on my advance, but I decided not to and get the +1 sharp regardless.
I thought we had this as feature.
It's not one of my features, I don't think. The storage tanks are invulnerable, but not the people.
Yeah, then let's get a
All right.
do
And
something
that's
under fire. too.
act under fire, which is cool, which means I mark another fucking experience. And this is helping Splendor's thing? Or Splendor's goal, which was to protect the people?
Well, no, this is too
Okay.
immediate.
Alright, that's a 7 then.
And for the refuge,
My question was, do I get help or interference or something from Sugar?
I mean,
Or
it
do I
sounds
just
like
straight roll?
that this could be a help. How much is Sugar putting?
If Sugar would like to help. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I guess she does. So you get +2 even.
Oh, nice.
I don't think that's the situation where you can't fail anymore, right?
Yeah, well, and I
Oh.
got a 14 now, so I am keeping all the cool.
Yeah.
And I look very good doing it, I'm sure.
Oh, that's a 15 because it adds the +1 from. So yeah.
That was
No, that's just a 14.
So
Oh, it's just a 13. It's already added in. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's +2. Okay.
I mean, yeah, I mean, like this is perfect. It's like as if you were made for each other, right, Sugar? That's how it feels doing this.
That's exactly how it feels. No, he's too soft. I can't like him. But look how hot he is.
Yeah, and
Yes.
even
Very
even that-
majestic.
yeah, and even and I think there's probably also this point where you can feel the jealousy flare up as like that bastard little cat just doesn't even hiss at Jaybird, but like
What?
gives him the full rub against the against the lower legs as like he just walks past at that moment.
Oh, yeah, and like Jaybird stops what he's doing to pick up this cat and put it back inside. The cat's just purring away the whole time and like head bumping against him. And
What?
cat loves me.
Give me people to murder now.
Well, here's the thing, right? Does this lead to something else? Because now the storm will be hitting.
I still got a partial success, so I don't know what's going on with my end.
Oh, I mean between Jaybird, because I don't like we've heard Sugar's side of things, How are Jaybird's side of things, I wonder?
I think Jaybird is now aware that Sugar's into his hotness and seeing how much use he can get out of that because he's got goals now. He's got to
Okay.
get this place tied up.
Cool.
And I got an advance. I'm going to pick out a move.
Blues, how many people are you actually, like, you've secured your people stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as you, like, that's most important. That makes sense. That's going well. But as you, like, look out to have a, like, I think you went maybe up some higher floor to have a look at what's happening with the storm, how close it is. And I think as you turn away from that, you also, like, get glimpses of like the first dusts that blow over the settlement, but you get glimpses where, like, I mean, right, you have like 80 people that you are now in control of. They're
Yeah.
like just doing their best. Who knows? Is this something you care about or not?
I mean, yeah, that's a good question.
Because it suddenly comes to you, no one here apparently took leadership with, like, settlement.
Yeah, I think like I don't know. Is there people here like looking to the Blues for leadership?
Yeah, I think there's definitely like a couple who are like who've like come to who are now like coming and like maybe you see a little group downstairs where like babies like with like gun out, not pointed at them, but like a shotgun kind of out and like talking to them, and they seem to be like pleading for can we
How many are there?
this is like it's like a dozen. It might become more, and you don't know like how else are things in town. You might want to have
Yeah,
look
I
around
think
town if you want to.
no. I think Blues is he goes up to the to the people and say to baby, I think. I guess the people are gonna die if we don't help them.
And like one of the people there, I think you can recognize him as it's Bar. It's I mean, it's Jabert's favorite customer.
Cool.
And he's like making us, what do you mean? Like, we've had storms before. It can't be that bad, right?
I don't think Blues like responds to that. Is Toyota there as well?
Is Toyota? Could Toyota be there? My question for Jaybird. Or did you have something about Toyota?
No, Toyota could totally be there. I kind of like the idea of my best and worst customers going to Blues at the same time.
Yeah. So he's like among the crowd too, with like I think two of his family.
I think I think Blues like looks over to Toyota and says, "Look, I've seen you trying to be tough. Now, and I think like he I think he has his probably like his gun up and is like swirling it around. Now it's time to show me that you're made of metal and not of plywood. I want you to gather all the people that are not safely inside in town, and I want you to put them in lines outside. And I want to wanted to have it done in 10 minutes. If not, I'm not taking in your family. I'm not taking in you, and I'm letting you walk out in the desert. You're muted.
Yeah, he's like, what? Like he's like completely bulldozed over by this, but this is still going aggro, right? Yeah, right. It's like Blues, yes, yeah. And you give him a gun, right? Is that correct?
I think I gave him my machete actually.
Okay, and he takes it and
if
yes,
you don't bring this back, you're also dead.
No. Okay. And baby looks at you, kind of like she's trying to suss out what game are we playing with this dude, right? And also if you mean for her or the gang to help him.
No.
Okay. I think that doesn't need a conversation. That passes silently between you two.
Yeah, I think no, I don't I don't think we have like a conversation. I think I just say to her, if people want to be saved, they have to be sure that they're worth saving. We're not having any more freeloaders in this community from now.
And she nods, and I guess Toyota is going to round up everyone, like by whoever he can find by force, and bring them outside into lines here. I will see what that might be like. Yeah. I think we need to cut back to Hoover.
All right. What the fuck do you mean, Garrett?
This is what we've known. He was always among us. The one who knows.
Explain. Calmly.
We were prophesized there. One of us knows what's going to happen, and one of us has the. Does he talk? Right? He must tell us something.
He doesn't talk.
What does he do then?
He types on the console, on the computer console. I don't know what to call it. So he types on the console. The thing with buttons and the window.
Oh, okay. And can I see? Can I see?
Well, right now you have to figure out how to get him to eat the storm. So yes, go ahead and see.
And yeah, so you bring him up with like Splendor together back to Splendor's room.
Yes.
Yeah. and
I explained to Garrett what the information I found out about, or that Splendor told me about what he told me, like the green tracks, the storm route,
Mhm.
and what Splendor told me, that he can eat the storm and that the storm can let us eat again, and try to figure out how do we do this. Would that be with a siege
um,
or not particularly?
I'm just thinking if it's even a roll.
And also, there's a hard soft mood on the table because I rolled a 7 on that.
Yeah, and I think this is it, right? Where um you you see him, like both of them, like Garrett is like super attentive to him,
Okay.
and like treating your boy like you have never seen someone treat your boy before, right? Paying like attention to everything. Splendor seems to be quite active now and interested, and and such, like showing stuff on the console thingy to Garrett, and Garrett like doesn't clearly really grasp most of it, except when there's like one point where he's like, wait, what was that? Go back. And there's like a little animation that plays out that what it basically shows is how very small particles, it seems like, are like how like bajillions of them form a storm, and we get like this animation of it moving and it showing, making it like super clear. This is not a normal dust storm. This is something that must be like human made or something. And I think that's when the storm hits, and you and it hits with it basically ripping away your roof.
All right. I don't know what to do except open my brain to make sure to figure out how to get to Splendor to eat the storm now, I guess. Or
I'm
what the
thinking-
hell I'm supposed to do.
No, I think I actually like the scene where the roof is ripped away, and we get like the top down shot of you all three like staring up, right? And zooming out and seeing like this huge cyclone winds, and we now get like in the camera where like it becomes clear like this is not like, yes, there's dust and rock and whatever in this, right? But they're like also the storm's also full of nanites that actually drive it. And thinking about cutting here, unless there's a thing for you others want to have, or like ending the session here then.
Oh, ending the session here? Okay.
Yeah, I want a last thing what Bruce does when the people actually come. I think it's probably like right before the storm hits. I think he just like picks out anyone who is in this religious group, and just say, you better pray that someone will eat the storm for you, and like take the rest in.
And I think the final bit for Jaybird is seeing the storm coming and just kind of drop everything, ushering his musical talent in, and then closing the door, and there's still people outside.
The big question is where's Sugar? Has Sugar inside?
I was totally going to let Sugar in, but who knows?
The bastard is in there, so she would hopefully be in there. So if he's in Preventer, then yes, she's inside.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, that is time-wise. We do like debrief and you might need to go anytime then, right?
I need to go now, so bye guys.
Well,
Bye.
yeah, then let's stop the broadcast here.